Hi everyone, welcome, I'm Mr. Bo, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is now out, and I've put together a beginner's guide going over 5 useful things that you need to do, whether you've played Borderlands in the past or if you're brand new to the franchise. Hopefully there's something here for everyone that'll help you as you traverse the Wonderlands. To begin with, make sure you're exploring for collectibles as well as a ton of loot. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands features a few different collectible items you can find throughout the world. From audio logs that add to the game's story, scrolls that will give you customization for your player's banner, as well as 20-sided die. And as this is a Dungeons & Dragons type game, you couldn't have it without a 20-sided die. So in each location of the map there will be a set amount of dice you can find. Usually these are pretty easy to see, but some of them might be hidden off the beaten path. When you find a dice, you go up to it and you roll it. It will then roll from 1 to 20. If it lands on 20, you're going to be getting good stuff from it. If it lands on 1, well, you're probably going to be getting just some money. But either way, finding these dice and rolling them has the chance to give you some cool loot. And these collectibles can also be found in the overworld, which is another place you should be exploring and trying to find some secrets in. The overworld basically connects you from level to level. It's your playing board. And as you wander through this area, you'll find those collectibles, and you'll also find random enemy encounters, like in Pokemon, where you're wandering through the tall grass and suddenly an enemy pops up. That'll take you into the encounter, and killing a few different enemies will then again reward you with more loot. So exploring just the normal levels as well as the overworld is going to help you out a ton. Next, make sure you claim your customization items that you may have gotten from enemies. Now this is more for the newer player to the Borderlands games, or maybe you've just forgotten. But as you're killing enemies, sometimes they will drop customization items, and you might be wondering, where did these go? They aren't in my customization item menu. Well, these go into your inventory. You then need to go into your inventory and actually claim them before you can use them. And you want to make sure you do that because these will be taking up precious inventory space where you could have a few different weapons in there instead. The reason these go to your inventory is maybe you get a duplicate and you're playing with a friend, well, you could then drop that and give them that item instead. But just in case you're wondering where these items are going, or you may be looking for your golden armor pre-order bonus, well, that's where they are. Next up is a pretty obvious one, but that is to make sure you're spending your skill points and your hero points. Now you might be like me, and sometimes you just forget, and then suddenly you've got a ton of points to spend. Now the game does alert you when you do have points to spend, but sometimes you can just overlook that from all the stuff going on screen. So make sure you're spending your skill points on your skill tree and putting them into abilities that you like, but then also making sure you put your hero points into your different stats. In the game you have strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, constitution, and attunement, and all of these affect different things with your characters, some playing into different classes better than others. So make sure you're spending those points. At 4, it is to experiment with your arsenal. Now there is a lot more stuff to use in Wonderlands compared to Borderlands. Not only do you have your regular weapons and skills to use, you now have magic spells as well as a melee weapon, and it's worth experimenting and finding cool new things. For instance, when it comes to spells, these are different things you'll find and you can actually equip. So don't think your character has just got that one spell. Look in your inventory and maybe have a look to see if you've got some cool spells that work well with your class or your abilities. Also, don't forget that some weapons have different fire modes, from semi-automatic, burst, and full auto. You might find a gun that you just really don't like, but maybe you switch the fire mode on it and it becomes a bit more bearable and maybe one of your favorite weapons. You get so much loot in these games that sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, but if you just step back a little bit, take a look at what you have in your inventory, maybe switch some things around, and try not to neglect something that you could be using to your advantage. And at number 5, I've thrown in this one as a fun one, and that is to check out the photo mode. Anytime there's a photo mode in a game, it's always just a fun time to hop in, maybe take a look at your character, take some cool pictures, see what fun filters there are to use, and for someone who makes videos on YouTube, this thing comes in super handy, especially when making thumbnails. So dive into the photo mode and have some fun. And there you have it. Those are 5 things you need to do if you're just beginning your adventure in Wonderlands. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you're a new player to the franchise or if you're someone who's been playing the games before, hopefully there was something helpful in this video. And if you have any cool tips to help other people, then be sure to leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed it or you did find it helpful, then click that like button, and if you aren't already, consider subscribing for more gaming content and coverage. Apart from that though, appreciate you for watching and for hanging out with me. Hopefully I'll catch you around, but until then, as always, make sure you take care. Cheers.